Hey guys, welcome back to another episode with Hope with Jonathan. I'm your host, Jonathan Trailer. And hey guys, we have a great show planned for you tonight. I really appreciate everybody viewing in here on this Facebook Live chat. Tonight, we're going to be interviewing another kidney warrior from the Boston, Massachusetts area, Mark Rose. Mark Rose has a Facebook kidney page called Mark Needs a Kidney. Uh, he's a blood type O, and he's currently listed on the transplant list at when his let's see, he's listed at Beth Israel Medical Center, and the phone number is 1-617-632-6851, and mention Mark Rose. That is his information. As you can see, it's scrolling down here on the bottom. And again, we have a great show for you. I appreciate all the love and respect and feedback. And, I'm excited about this interview tonight. Definitely, each one of these kidney warriors' personal journeys are definitely inspiring. And again, welcome to Hope with Jonathan. Uh, I'm going to go ahead and bring on our guest tonight, Mr. Mark Rose. Hey, Mark, welcome to the show. I appreciate you doing the show tonight. You
How you
doing
doing?
okay?
Yeah, doing okay. Yep.
Doing good?
Better.
Yeah, how's the weather up in Boston area?
Cold, rainy, gloomy. You know,
Yeah,
usual
yeah,
weather for the year. Yep.
yeah. I'm in South Texas area, San Antonio area. So actually, it's been pretty chilly here. We got some rain and stuff. So it went from shorts weather to jacket weather. So
Okay.
yeah.
Mhm. Um, I was in Florida just this past year for a while before the pandemic, and it was hot every day down there. Even when it
Oh
rained,
yeah.
it's hot. So yeah, I was there for a few months.
Oh
So
yeah. Well, Mark, while you're on the show here, I brought you on to basically, interview you and talk with you, about your personal journey with kidney disease and battling kidney disease and things like that. And why don't you tell me a little bit of your background with your battle and experience with kidney disease?
okay. Well, for me, um, the first um, the first time I ever heard anything about it was it was
Hmm.
probably all the way back in July. I think it was beginning of July 2014.
Uh huh.
Um, I was I bought tickets. I bought tickets to a festival concert for myself
Uh
because
huh.
I hadn't been able to do anything like that in a while because I have other
Uh huh.
challenges. So I was really excited about it, and I had a sore throat that day, so I didn't have insurance at the time. So I went to the hospital to the emergency room to stay ahead of it, so I wouldn't get sick. And when I
Uh
got
huh.
there, they ended up wanting to keep me for observation, saying that my levels were not where they should be.
Right.
Um, and I stayed until the next day, and they were like, "Well, you're okay at the moment, but you should keep an eye on that." And I was kind of defiant about it. I didn't want to stay because I didn't want to miss the
Yeah.
show. It was that night,
Oh, sure.
So I was like,
Sure.
they're like, well, you're gonna leave against our recommendation. At least promise that you'll
Uh-huh.
go and follow up with your doctor, which I did, which I said I
Right.
would. Um, so I left and I went to the show because I was really dying to see Korn, which is a band I really enjoy.
Yeah,
They
I
were playing with
remember him. I
Slipknot at
remember him.
they were playing at a festival, the Mayhem Festival.
Uh-huh.
So
Okay.
couldn't miss it. So I left and I seemed fine after that. And a lot of time went by, and occasionally I'd have back pain and it would go away. And,
Uh-huh.
it was not till I believe the end of 2017, I started
Uh-huh.
having continuous back pain in my lower back, and just my stomach would be bothering me, and my back would bother me. It would feel like someone was taking a chisel into my back like this, and
Oh.
you know, it didn't matter if I was standing up or sitting down. So it was really annoying to me, and so I went to the doctor, my regular doctor, and he ended up sending me to a what do they call them? A blood doctor, a hematologist,
Mm-hmm.
because my white blood cell count was a little high, but that turned out to be nothing after about 100 tests. So then
Okay.
I got sent to a kidney specialist, and I ended up having to go for a biopsy. At first, he was kind of like, "Well, it could be just some damage to one kidney, but um, it's always possible that it will just be the one kidney, and you'll be okay. You can live with one kidney." And he was hopeful. So I went for the biopsy, but they couldn't do the biopsy because my blood pressure was too high that day. So I had to reschedule and come back again. It happened again a second time. Third time, they gave me they gave me a tip, and I followed the tip. So I ended up taking an anxiety pill before I got there, and I was able to get the biopsy done successfully. And then I waited and waited, and it was that tense time waiting to find out, trying to be optimistic at the same time. And then I had the appointment with the nephrologist, and he basically uh, turned around and, as nice as he could tell me, he said, we're going to have to talk about transplant, because I was afraid of this, but I was hopeful that it would only be the one kidney, but it's not, it's both. Um, he had tried putting me on prednisone for a little while, but I ended up having water retention in my legs because of that, and that caused me problems with walking and kind of messed with my head a little bit. So that was kind of a disaster there, and it's just gone on and on. But it caused me to lose my job, within a couple months, because I started to have really bad fatigue, and I couldn't stay awake at work, and I was just exhausted all the time. Which has continued now for 2 years, because that was right at in 2018 when I got the diagnosis, and I was living in a house, and I ended up having to voluntarily move out of my house, and I had nowhere to go. So I ended up kind of being a gypsy for a while. I moved to Florida for a few months, and then I was in Maine for a few months, and then back to Massachusetts, but had nowhere to go, and it was too cold. So I went back to Maine, and I was just all over the place for a while, and it was really bad because it kind of interfered with my, appointments and things like that. But I had, while I was still in my home, I established my I'd gone for my orientation with the transplant team, and I was got on the list for a kidney and all that. So I was thankful that I was able to do that, and I had time to do that. And it's just it's been one
Yeah.
challenge after another. Just
Uh-huh.
other life things going on. Ever since I been out of work, money was a challenge. You know, I had to
Yeah,
stay with different people, and some
for
people
sure.
don't. Some people don't understand the illness. They think it's oh, he's being lazy, or this or
Yeah.
that. So
Uh-huh.
they don't want you around very long. So you end up getting woken up in the morning, one morning, told that you have to leave. Even though you got nowhere to go. um, so I bounced around a lot for a while, for like over a year, and that was really tough. Being sick, having to drag all my stuff with me, with no car or anything
Yeah.
because I lost my car. I literally lost everything. I had to leave all my stuff behind mostly. Um,
Yeah.
and just go off on my own with one bag of clothes, and leave most of my personal stuff, my family pictures, everything behind. You know, um,
Yeah.
which was really upsetting for me.
Oh, I'm sure.
Um, I've tried to keep up, over time. Like I was doing my monthly blood work, and then that became kind of a task because I couldn't find rides, to get to my doctor's office to get my blood work done, and my girlfriend at the time was helping me out a little bit, um, but that was a disaster. But anyway, um,
Yeah.
as time went on, it just became more difficult, and I got afraid that if I didn't find a stable situation, that it was just going to make things a lot worse for me. And I thought about my options, but I ended up finding a room to rent. So it's not the best ideal situation for me, but I've been renting a room for a while now here in Quincy, Mass, and it's more stable than anything I've had in a couple of years. Um, to
Yeah.
my amazement, it doesn't really amaze me, but it does sometimes, that I had all these friends that I thought I had way back 2 years ago, and most of them are gone and have no support from them.
Yeah.
And most of my family, I'm not very close with, so I don't really see them. Like my
Hmm.
my sister, when I was before I became homeless, my sister would come around and go to my Boston appointments with me at the transplant center, but she doesn't really come
Yeah.
around much these days. So I'm kind
Yeah.
of stuck on my own, trying to figure stuff out. You know what I mean? My
So Mark, how does all this, that you're going through currently, how does this make you feel? When you don't have much family support, and it seems like you're kind of on your own, and your loss of job situation because of battling kidney disease, or how did all this make you feel emotionally?
it's been a roller coaster. You know,
Yeah.
I have good days and bad days. For a while, I was really really depressed, and actually really emotional about it. I would get upset all the time, and just for no reason, just listening to a song or watching a movie, or
Yeah.
just you know it would just come out. um,
Yeah. Well, that's
sometimes.
part of the kidney disease. The kidney disease, it affects it more than just your kidneys. It affects your mental state, your mood.
Yep.
I can sympathize with you because I went through a couple of things that you've mentioned. And I had some depression. I had mood swings.
Mm,
I was short with people.
yep.
Sometimes I didn't even realize I was doing it until people made it aware to me that, hey,
Yeah.
you're not acting like yourself. There's something going on. My family actually, my kids, were like, hey, dad's not acting right. There's something
Um,
going on.
well, I mean, that's another thing for me. I've been divorced since 2015.
Yeah,
I was having issues with my ex-wife as far as my kids. Like we had an open agreement as far as I could see my kids anytime I wanted. We didn't have any kind of court order rules or anything. You know,
yeah,
we never had an issue because of that. But then all of a sudden,
yeah,
she decides to as soon as we were divorced, like literally, as soon as we were divorced, she went and got married again, which is fine. That's okay. I understand that. But all of a sudden, she was like, "I want more money, and if you don't give it to me, then I don't think you should see the kids." And
yeah,
one of my two daughters is not mine by birth, so I never adopted her. But I never treated her any differently. You know what I mean?
yeah. Uh
Um,
huh.
I was always there for her, always took care of her, just the same as my younger one.
Mhm.
And she basically systematically cut me off from both the girls, and that was right around the time I started feeling, when I was starting to get sick, and I didn't know it,
Yeah,
and that kind of broke my heart. And I tried everything. I
yeah,
tried talking to her, but I mean, for her, it was about money and her having what she wanted, and
yeah,
she went and had another baby, and I'm happy for them and everything, but at the same time, she kind of ruined my relationship between me and my daughters,
yeah,
which is one thing that like it just emotionally it hurts me really bad that
yeah.
my daughters don't even know that I'm sick. They don't know anything about it.
Oh wow.
Because I haven't seen them, and
Yeah,
they don't call me. Because I don't know what they've
yeah.
been told. So
Well, the emotional side of this can be definitely enduring and a battle. It can definitely be
yeah,
tough, and
oh yeah,
it weighs heavy on a lot of different aspects. And you're touching on one of them is the family life. It can
mhm,
definitely make things tough. Did
yeah.
you have any family history of kidney disease? Any of your other family members?
No, no. I'm actually adopted, so I mean, and I've been kind of involved with both of my families over the
Okay.
years, but to my knowledge, there's the only thing that's been is high blood pressure. You know,
So
um,
yeah, then that's one of the top causes of kidney disease is high blood pressure and type 2
yeah,
diabetes.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. My mother that raised me, basically my mom, because my birth mother is not really never. I've never considered her a mother. My mother that raised me, she was a wonderful lady. She died in 1999. She was a diabetic. She had a lot of health issues because of her
Yeah.
diabetes. She had heart attacks and stuff like that. So
Yeah. I'm
um,
sorry to hear that, brother. Sorry to
that
hear that.
that that wouldn't be related to me, but
Yeah.
to see that was tough. You know what I mean? But
So you've been able to manage your kidney disease to the point that right now you're just considered to be what they call a preemptive transplant, which means that so far you've been able to avert dialysis. Have they spoken with
yeah,
you about possibly?
I don't know how long that's going to last though, because I've been feeling
Yeah,
a lot. I've been feeling pretty
yeah,
run down.
Uh-huh.
Over the summer I was I couldn't stand sitting around just so for extra money I got a rental car through Lyft and I started driving. I figured kill two birds with one stone. I said, how hard can it be? I drive some people around, I make a little extra money, and it gives me a car so I can get to my appointments, Then I don't have to
Yeah.
depend on anyone. But it turned out it was a lot more difficult than I thought it would be, Um,
Uh-huh.
I would have to pull over, take naps in the car, and I mean, it's just,
Yeah.
you know, after a while,
So you could tell like your levels are probably like your toxins are probably getting, higher, and it seems like your kidneys maybe are getting to a point where you're going to probably need to proceed with dialysis. Have they talked with you about making a
I,
choice of either peritoneal or hemo, or which one would you
I,
be
I,
possibly
I
interested?
had the surgery already, I have
Okay.
the in my
Fistula.
wrist, yeah,
Okay.
yeah, I've had, they actually, it was one of the first things they talked about, like scheduled me for surgery, like back in
Okay.
2017, so I've had it for a while,
Okay.
you know,
Okay.
just never been used.
Yeah.
It just
Yeah.
sits there and, I can hear it constantly in my
Oh
heart going,
yeah. Yeah.
it
Yeah.
drives me crazy.
Yeah. You can
So
hear the they call it the thrill or the
yeah,
brewery. Yeah.
yeah,
Uh, See, I did
but
everything backwards.
yeah.
Yeah, I ended up getting mine after I went on dialysis. So I ended up with a catheter in my chest, and then they
Okay,
did then they did the fistula. And I remember coming home and having my hand up behind my neck on the pillow, and I started
yeah,
hearing this whoosh 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 sound, and
yeah.
it kind of scared me at first, like, oh man, what's going on? Is there something else going on with my body? What's happening? And then I realized it was my fistula making that sound. So
I've never gotten used to it.
yeah,
Every time I do that, like you said, I pull my arm away because I don't like the sound. you know,
yeah,
kind of creeps me out a little bit. So,
yeah. What
but I
type of
was,
fistula do you have? Is it a shunt, or is it just an AV fistula where they mesh together two veins?
it's I believe it's where they tied the two in together or whatever.
Uh
However
huh.
they do it. Um,
Yeah.
it's in my wrist, right below my hand.
Okay.
Because I didn't want it further up on my arm. You
Yeah.
know, because I'd seen
Yeah.
how some of them get all distorted, and
Oh
I was
yeah.
like, can you put it in my wrist that way? When I wear a covering or something, it'll be less
Yeah.
noticeable. Um,
Yeah.
so my surgeon said, yeah, yeah. So he did all the stuff and checked, and I
Uh
had the
huh.
first surgery, and then it turned out I needed a second surgery on it
Oh,
because
okay.
there was a blockage. There was a
Oh,
blockage,
okay.
so he had to move. He had to slightly move it, and then I
Mm-hmm.
had to have an angioplasty on it
Okay.
for a third procedure. So I had
Oh,
three
wow.
procedures, like literally back to back, one after another. You know, within like a month. Yeah.
So
So
you're prepared if you have to go on dialysis. You're already prepared, and your fistula's been
yeah.
maturing. I can tell it was raised up some, so it's ready to go. So you've already made that decision. You're going to do hemo, if they tell
Yeah.
you you have to do it.
Um, I had gone to a local clinic, and the local clinic, I met with the nurse there, and this was before I had any of it, and she kind of described the options and showed me how they worked. And when she was like, "Oh, we're gonna stick this tube into your stomach, and you're gonna have a
Yeah.
catheter sticking into your stomach, and you're gonna have these big
Mm-hmm.
bags of liquid," and I'm like, "Ah, no, I'm not. I can't do that." I'm like, "No,
Yeah.
no." I'm
Yeah.
like, "No, just." I'm like, just vampire me, suck my blood out,
Yeah.
stick it back
Yeah.
in,
Right.
Um, you know,
One of the reasons why we're doing this show, guys, is to advocate for Mark. a living donor so that he can avert dialysis. As a former dialysis patient myself, if he can avert dialysis by getting a donor, it will save him a nightmare of issues. Dialysis is not for the weak of heart. It can be
Yeah.
very draining. It can be affect a lot of different things. And Mark has a kidney page. It's called Mark Needs a Kidney. He's currently listed at Beth Israel Medical Center. The phone number is 1617 632 6851. He's blood type O. Mention Mark Rose. Also, I want to mention, even if you're not a blood type O, there is the paired exchange program,
Yeah.
meaning that
Yeah.
if you are a blood type A or B, we can swap out a kidney and get Mark a kidney, and someone else would take the donor's kidney. And so it's a win-win situation where Mark would still get a kidney, called the paired exchange program.
Yeah, I've wanted to get signed up for that because I mean that's something I've been looking at since day one too, you know. Um,
Yeah.
but you know, some of that stuff it's kind of confusing to navigate, you know. Um, I don't remember why I didn't why I haven't gotten signed up for it or whatever, but yeah, I'd like to
Well,
be, you know.
your team at your hospital, will help you with that. And when you're advocating, if you're talking to people out and about, you can talk with them about that, because O is one of the most common blood types. Doesn't matter the Rh factor. I don't know if you're plus or minus. I'm O negative, but as long as it's an O, the unique thing
Yeah,
about O is O can donate to any blood type, right?
right.
But they can only
Yeah,
receive an O. So that's the only thing
I
about an
know.
O. Yeah.
Yeah,
And so we're kind of like one of those unique, and but yet we're also one of the most common blood
yeah,
types as well. And that's one
yeah,
of the reasons why I think it's so hard for sometimes you hear of cases waiting a long time, because once someone gets that that O shows up, somebody gets it right away, right? Because there's
yeah.
so many people that are in line for a transplant and on that transplant list.
Excuse me.
So, guys,
Mhm.
again, one of the reasons why we're doing this show is to express Mark's story and get his story out there. If you are interested in possibly becoming a Mark's donor, you can go to his kidney page. Mark Needs a Kidney. All of his information is current on there. Hey, Mark, why don't you talk a minute about Jeff Brown, our buddy Jeff Brown, that advocates for
Uh,
you? How did you get associated with him?
I was on a bus actually. Um, I was on a bus coming back from Georgia, and it was early in the morning. And
Hmm.
he had seen my I had started a page myself, but it wasn't very good. And he had seen it, I guess, and if I remember correctly, and while I was on the bus, he had sent me a message on my page, and
Uh-huh.
we started corresponding, and decided to do a whole new page and asked me if I wanted help, and I said yeah, and we talked, and you know, I haven't been very for a while now. I haven't been very active, like as far as um, like in the beginning, I was very involved, and I kind of fell down. Like I just I didn't want to think about it. I didn't want to. You know, I just I got really frustrated with the whole process, and I got frustrated with just I had a few people go and get tested, and they all were found not to be, and just the wake. I was going through a period which I've gone through many times, waking up different days where I just I'm like I'm so sick of this, you know
Yeah.
feeling the way I feel, and not being able to live the life I that I was trying to live, I had a decent job. I had other plans. I was going to leave that occupation, and I had bigger plans. You know what I mean? But
Yeah.
it was all kind of stomped on, and you know, there's been times where I've been depressed, and I've talked to Jeff, and stuff like that, and he's always very supportive, and
Hmm.
always has kind things to say, and you know, um, you know, I I don't know, he's just one of those really positive people, and
Yeah.
he likes to help people, and we should all aspire to be better like that, that we can do more for people that need help, I mean,
Yeah.
I come from a I come from a family of do-gooders. Like my father was in the Knights of Columbus, my adopted father. My mother was always trying to help people. So I naturally like helping people. But
Yeah.
the way it's happened to me is, unfortunately for me, people end up kind of taking advantage of that in the past. My kindness, so I end up um, I end up in situations where um, you know I've done things for people, and it's kind of hurt me along the way.
Yeah.
So
Well, considering what you've been through and everything, I'm sure Jeff understands. You're fighting a battle right now, and Jeff is a very understanding person.
yeah,
He
no, he's
makes he
great.
makes
He
some,
is.
yeah, and he makes some amazing posters for kidney patients, and
Yep,
he shares all the time, and Jeff is a good has been a good source of support for me as well. Been a
yep,
good friend, and also
yeah,
want to send a shout out to Jared Brown, his brother. He's watching the show. He's
yeah.
been
Jared too.
commenting.
Jared too.
Yeah,
Definitely.
and Jared's been commenting.
Yeah,
So appreciate the
yeah,
support, Jared. And Mark, the thing is I'm a person of faith, so I believe in God, and I believe in the right timing for things, and everything
yeah,
happens for a reason. And you're going through this right now. You're battling this right now. Maybe
yeah,
you don't understand why, or you don't know why you're going through this. But there's a reason. There's a reason for everything, and you sound
yeah.
like a real trooper, a warrior, and I would like to see you get a transplant before that you would even have to face dialysis.
Yeah, that
It's
would be
just a
great. I mean,
yeah,
that's been kind of my goal all along, but um, out the door, I came out swinging. Like, all right, I'm gonna kick this in the ass, and I'm gonna get I'm gonna get that transplant. I'm gonna avoid all the other stuff, and it's gonna be great, and I'll get back to my normal life, or I'll start working towards the goals that I had in mind. Um, I think this is just something that's going to teach me to be more humble about things. Remember that I need to be thankful for the things that I do have, and that at least I'm still here every day, and that I have a chance to still do that. So that's uh, that's kind of where I'm at. Um, I hope, as far as my kids, my daughters, and my son. My son, I didn't get to mention. He's 22. He lives with his mom and stepdad, and he's a good kid. He's real smart and works hard and stuff
hmm
like that. And he's we were kind of estranged for a few years. There was a odd period between me and his mother, but as we've gotten older, there's no grief there anymore. Which is good.
yeah,
We get along real well. So,
right,
um, they reached out to me, and I have a good relationship with them now. So
right,
I'm kind of hoping the same thing for my daughters, and that I can be there for them.
Yeah,
Um,
you definitely want
um,
to be around for your daughters, and
yeah,
they want
yeah,
you to still be around, and that
yeah,
gives you something, that driving force to want to stay
yeah.
alive and keep fighting and keep going, as a family.
Yep.
And that was one of my questions for you was, since you don't have, a real strong family support right now, have you thought about joining like a support group, or like at like a hospital somewhere, or maybe on a Zoom meeting? I know right now I'm meeting with support
Unfortunately,
groups.
I've looked into it around here, but there's nothing very close by as far as those kind of groups in my area where I
Hmm.
am that I could even get
Hmm.
to.
Yeah.
Because yeah, I have thought about it. I mean, definitely.
Hmm.
Because I thought, hey, I could meet some people that make some new friends that have stuff in common, and
Hmm.
they'll kind of be able to identify how I feel and know what I'm going through, and not kind of judge me for how I might act or what I might do.
Yeah.
You know.
It's nice to be able to talk to people that's been where you've been and what you're going through. And, it's nice for that camaraderie to be able to, speak with somebody that's already been in your shoes. So
Yeah.
it's something that you definitely, it's a great source, to lean upon whenever, especially when you
Yeah.
have a bad day or you're going through something else.
Yeah.
It's nice to be able to talk to them. Let me give you some information after the show, that
Sure.
with a Zoom meeting that would be beneficial to you if you're interested. We have a
Yeah. Yeah.
twice a week Zoom. We meet twice a week, on Mondays and Thursdays at 6 o'clock, and
Okay.
I'll give you some information after the show. But
Awesome.
Mark, Mark, you are currently listed at what hospital?
I'm listening at Beth Israel Deaconess Hospital,
Uh
is what
huh.
they call it.
Okay.
It's in Boston. It's one of the major top hospitals in Boston. That's where I'm currently listed. I may be getting a second listing at another hospital, but I'm looking into that now because of uh, my current coordinator hasn't been very forthcoming as far as participating. So
Uh huh.
um, that's a whole issue. I had my original coordinator was switched for another woman, and since I got the new woman uh, switched, she hasn't been as
Informative.
she's not like my old coordinator. My old coordinator was very she would call me at least once a week, or
Yeah.
enough to check in and say, okay, did you get the list I sent you for all your appointments? Did you get this? Um, I don't get zero any of that from this lady.
Oh
I
wow.
call, and like the last time I called was probably in August, and I still haven't heard back from her.
Oh
So
wow.
yeah,
Well, yeah. Unfortunately, sometimes you have to be your own best advocate, and kind of do your own homework, and try to stay in contact with them. Each person can be different. I've noticed
yeah,
that as well. Um, hey, I
yeah.
want to give a shout out to Kyle Hawkridge for he's all the way in Toronto, Canada. He left a comment for you and said, "We are far, but us on Facebook and social media are open for a call whenever you need it." So
Thank you
there's
very much. I
somebody
appreciate
there.
that. Thank
Yeah,
you.
and Kyle has a merchandise line called Kidney Warrior Merch. So everybody out there, check that out. If you're a kidney warrior and looking for some sort of merchandise, whether it be T-shirt or coffee mug, just all types of different items that Kyle has on that website. And
I
his
love
wife,
that.
yeah, and he has a Facebook page, and he's on Instagram, Twitter. And but his wife is currently battling PKD, which is polycystic kidney disease. So he knows
Yep.
all too well about dialysis and kidney
Yeah.
situations. So shout out to Kyle. Appreciate you watching.
Hey, Kyle.
Appreciate your support. And Mark appreciates it too. Jared Brown's been on here. We appreciate Jared. My wife Melissa Kim Trailer, she commented, says she shared this, so I really appreciate it. Uh,
Thank you, guys. I
so
really appreciate it. Everyone really, from the
so
bottom of my
Mark,
heart.
yes, Mark. And Mark, I have a one last question for you. If you had a chance to talk and discuss, with someone, and you were wanting to try to, talk with them about possibly becoming your donor, what would you like to say to that person?
Well, I mean, it's something that it's I'm almost kind of speechless about that. I mean, it's hard to kind of define. Like, um, it's something I would do for anybody if I was able to. Like, um, I've never been in that kind of situation where I honestly never thought about it myself when I was healthy. But if I had been approached, I would. Because I mean, every life is precious, and we should all be looking out for each other. We only get one life, so we all need to watch out for each other, and if we can help each other, help each other. Life is precious, and we only get one chance at it. So the people who do give, they're amazing. First off, it's I'm sure it can be a scary experience. So they're brave for doing what they do, and it's a very given thing to do for another individual, especially if it's someone that you don't know.
Yes,
So,
yes. Well,
it's
Mark,
it's a blessing to anyone who's
yes,
lucky enough to
yes,
give or receive. Um,
yes.
and it's kind of part of our nature, that we give and receive. That's how people should be in the world.
Oh, for
Some
sure,
give, some
for sure.
receive. You know,
Yes.
so
Well, as you know, we were born with two, and so we can
yep,
live with one. And so,
right,
guys out there, get educated on transplant. If you're concerned about risk factors and things like that, there's a whole lot of information that you definitely Google search. There's a whole lot of information out there. But I do want to let everybody know that you can live life with just one kidney. And what happens is that other kidney compensates for the other one, and it actually increases in size to help relieve that the body
right,
notices that you only have the one kidney, and it kind of takes
right,
over the function of two. And like I said, right now I'm actually a transplant patient myself. I was transplanted on August the 11th of 2020. So I'm only transplanted now a little over 90 days. And, it was an
right,
amazing journey to get where I'm at. And it was a short journey, but I went through a lot. And,
yeah,
and I come from moments from death to life. And, it was just
right,
an amazing experience. So I know exactly where you're at, Mark, and I know what you're going through. And we would definitely like to see you get transplanted to avert completely going on dialysis. Uh, but if you
yeah.
end
That
up
would be
having to
amazing.
go, yeah. But if you end
Yeah,
up having to go on dialysis, brother, I want you to know to stay strong and continue to fight the fight and waiting for this transplant. And
yeah,
just be rest assured that eventually it's going to come. And it may be not, when you least expect it. It could be
right,
tomorrow. It could be a year from now. But
yeah,
it's you got to continue to have faith and hope and believe positive things are going to happen for you. That helped me out a lot, was just having that power of positive thinking.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Even and
I
it's
used
tough.
to
It's tough.
go into the groups on Facebook and talk and stuff, but I haven't done that in a while. I kind of like I said, I kind of pulled away because I just I wasn't handling things very well.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I'm trying not to be like that or do that, but it's
Yeah.
sometimes I don't. Sometimes I want to. I don't want to think about it. I just want to, be able to live. You know.
Well, I want to encourage you to get back involved, Mark, and get back engaged with it, and
Yeah.
continue staying strong and positive. We've all had bad days. We've all had bad times with this, and it's not easy. It's not an easy life.
Yeah.
It is tough. It's a tough one, and I want to encourage you, brother. We're in your corner. We're
Yeah.
praying for you. We're believing for you. We're fighting for you. And we're going to continue to share for you and continue to
Yeah.
advocate for Mark. Mark Needs a Kidney on Facebook, guys. You need to check out his page. Join the fight with Mark. Mark Rose is listed at Beth Israel. You just said Deaconess
Yep.
Medical
That's
Center.
correct.
Yeah,
Yep.
and he's a blood type O. We've already discussed the paired exchange program if you're an incompatible blood type. And if you don't know what that is, you can find all kinds of information on that if you go to Parrot Exchange on Google. There's all kind of different listings from different resources. National Kidney Fund has a really good explanation on there of the Parrot Exchange program.
Yeah. I'd
Um,
definitely be interested in that too. I've looked it up myself,
yeah,
but.
yeah, and the phone number for Mark is 1-617-632-6851, and mention Mark Rose. Guys, I really appreciate you tuning in, all the feedback, all the support to all the viewers out there that are supporting Hope with Jonathan. I really appreciate it. This show, I do these shows to allow kidney warriors to come on and talk about their personal experiences and share their journeys with kidney disease. Mark is another warrior that has agreed to come on and express his story. And I really appreciate you, Mark, for coming on.
Yeah,
I
I'll do it
hope this
again.
has been, I
Yeah.
appreciate that. And I
Yeah, I'll do
hope
it
this has
again.
been a positive, uplifting
Yeah.
experience
Yeah.
for
Definitely.
you and try to
Definitely.
encourage you, brother. And
Yeah.
you stay in the fight.
Yeah. I'll definitely do this again. Yeah. You know.
Yeah, well, I appreciate that. And you know what? Maybe
Yeah.
we can get Jeff, even though he's across the world. Maybe we can get Jeff on if we schedule it right. So that would be
Yep.
awesome. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. But I appreciate you coming on, Hope with Jonathan, and we'll talk
Oh
with you
no,
later,
thank you,
Mark.
man.
You have a good one.
Thank you for encouraging me to do it. It's taken me a while, but thank
No
you.
problem. No problem. It's my pleasure. You have a great night.
You too, buddy. Take care.
All right, you too. Bye bye.
Bye. Thank you, everyone.
This was a great show, great interview, guys. I really appreciate you tuning in and viewing the show with Hope with Jonathan. All the support has been great. And again, another kidney warrior sharing his personal, uh, just personal journey with kidney disease. It's so enduring. It's definitely an uphill battle. Um, the end result is awesome when a warrior ends up getting their transplant. That's one of the reasons why I'm doing this show is to advocate for living donors to try to come forth. We need more education. We need more shows on this. To help these kidney warriors, as a kidney warrior myself, I know exactly what these patients are going through. The waiting can be emotionally draining. Guys, again, uh, Mark Rose has a kidney page called Mark Needs a Kidney. And you can go on there and find out his information. There's a pre screening website on there where you can get pre screened to be his living donor. And again, all the information I've talked about it is that's was scrolling on the bottom is there on his page. again, I really appreciate you coming on and watching this Hope with Jonathan episode with Mark Rose. You guys stay blessed. And again, donate life and get your kidneys checked out. God bless.